Hey, what's up, y'all? Mighty MC here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today's show and tell is going to be with the Sencut Traxler. They call it a neutral blue handle. You'll see it in just a second. Satin finish and, of course, a 9CR blade. They do have a couple other models available, and this is one of their newer ones. So, let's go ahead and check him out together. Now, it is Sencut. Most of us know who Sencut is. If you don't know who Sencut is the low budget for Wii knives. So you have Wii knives at the top, generally $100 and over. You have Civivi, who typically operates in the $50 to $100 range, and then you have Sencut, who operates in the below $50 range. They do give you a nice zippered pouch. We get some care instructions. We get a cloth, and we get a little bit of swag, a knife sticker, and a Sencut sticker. I like these zippered pouches, by the way. I wish everyone would do these, and I do mean everyone. I've got some $100 plus knives that don't come nearly as nicely packaged as this. But anyway, forget about all that. This is the Sencut Traxler. There's that neutral blue, kind of a, I don't really know, kind of a slate blue in my mind almost, but that's a color thing. We won't get into that. It is a nice blue G10 scale. Looks like T8s all the way around it, other than, of course, the pocket clip screws. So that's a pretty nice touch. Well built, always well built. Reversible pocket clip, lanyard hole built into the scales there. I don't always like that. I kind of think it looks tacky, but, you know, it doesn't matter. This knife is under $40, so you can't complain too much. The pocket clip they could have done better with. It is pretty deep carry. They didn't inset it, but at least they didn't use mushroom screws. So that's nice. They are visible exposed liners, and they do stick up just a bit off the back of the knife, but it doesn't bother you. The grip is fine. Now, they do use almost exclusively 9CR. I don't know. They might use some D2, but I haven't really seen it. As far as I know, almost everything Sencut does is 9CR. So, flipper tab only deployment, but it really deploys well. And Sencut always does. That's one thing with Sencut. They're super consistent with their quality. If you know who Sencut is and you know what you're getting, I don't think you'll ever be disappointed. As long as you like the way the knife looks. I think I've got 5 of them, and they're all just fantastic for what they are. I mean, you're not going to get real exotic materials. They do make some in wood, though. And you're not going to get, you know, S35V or 20CV or LMAX, of course. You're not going to get 154CM. You're going to get 9CR. But they do have about the best 9CR in the business. So that's another thing. If you rate 9CR like a 6 on a scale of 10, Civivis or Sencuts is at least a 6.5, maybe a 7. Let's listen to that deployment. The weight of the blade helps, but it does just flip right open. Like, I almost can't fail it. I probably could fail it, but that was a lazy flip right there, and I still got it. Push button works also, but it wants the light switch, and it fires right out. Super, super straight edge on that blade. That's kind of nice looking. I actually like that. I don't love the whole knife, but that blade, that super straight edge, it's kind of cool because you don't see it a lot on knives unless they're like a razor style. But it's kind of a modified cleaver, or maybe it's a whole cleaver, and this just kind of makes it look different. There's a little swedge up top that comes down around that corner. Just gives it a little style. I don't think it has a purpose. Of course, there's the billboarding Sencut. And it does say 9CR right here, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to where you can see it. There it is. Boom. Nice job, phone. Wow. It falls shut, partially because of the weight of the blade and the length of the blade. But this is another one, man. If you like the look of the knife, I'm sorry, I don't know if I said this. It is a liner lock. There's decent access to the liner. That's one place I might nitpick, but it's not bad at all. You won't have an issue with it. Could be just a little better, but it's not bad. You gotta like flipper tabs. That's the only way to get it open. I mean, you could probably yeah, you can pinch it and drop it, but that's not the most, that's like a cool looking thing, but it's not the most, you know, not the most convenient thing. Nice handle for a full 4-finger grip. They do have a good sharpening choil. It's just a really, like, this one was 39 bucks, and I got it on White Mountain, so you got the 10%. So for right around 35, it's hard to beat. No sharp edges. Everything feels good. The ergos are good. I don't feel the pocket clip. I don't feel these slightly exposed liners at all. That's all really good. The jimping is kind of a waste, but that's not unusual because I don't want to sit way down here. I want to be right there. This little back curve, there's kind of a back curve here on the spine. That does give you a decent resting place, and then there's a spot right there. So if I want to get really down into some fine cuts, I can do it. I can do it. Now, did I lose my receipt while I've been sitting here? I crumpled it up pretty good. Oh, it's Joanne Fabrics. It's my wife's. I swear, guys. So let's check them out. If I can do it with this crumbly ass. And it's still pretty good. Like, it comes pretty sharp. And every Sencut I have has come reasonably sharp. So as long as you know what it is, you know who Sencut is, you know what you're shopping for. I've said that in my videos before. Sorry about the crumpling noise. Know what you're shopping for. Know what you're buying. Sencut's an under $50, under $40 knife for a reason. The materials aren't the best. This guy's like right at 8 inches. Tip to maybe just a hair over. But one thing, and that's a little big for me, one thing they do though, this is less than ½ inch. This is like 0.47 inches. They make these bigger knives with thin handles so they don't feel so big. They also did that with their other newer one, the Fantera. This is another super thin handle. And if you can check it out right there, you know, that's pretty good, especially if we're not having nested liners. I mean, if they nested their liners, they'd almost be probably uncomfortably thin at that point. So, let's do a couple quick comparisons. Size, that is. This is one I consider my perfect EDC size. This is the Spyderco Native 5 Salt. Now, as you can see, the Traxler has quite a bit on him, right? So, and of course, the one I always do, this is the QSP Penguin. If you don't have a Penguin, get a damn Penguin. I don't know what you're waiting on. They got big ones, small ones, minis, button locks, slip joints. So, if you take that swedge away, these blades aren't all that dissimilar. They both have that straight edge. Now, QSP doesn't have the curve in the back. And it's a more dramatic drop, but this has the drop too. Not quite as dramatic, but they're not super, their cutting performance or their cutting style with that super straight edge wouldn't be all that different. And these guys are like 30 bucks, and you just can't beat them, I don't think. Especially for a throwaway knife. And that's D2. And this is the same thing. This is under $40. I don't know how to complain about a knife that's this good under $40. The action's right. The centering might be off just a hair to my right. But if it's so, it's just a hair. It's nothing to complain about. And that's Sencut's MO. If you like the way the knife looks and you understand what you're getting, I don't think you'll ever be disappointed. They did do some weight reduction in there. As you can see, if you're new to the knife world, this is weight reduction when they cut away parts of the liner that won't affect the structural integrity of the knife to reduce some weight. Because sometimes when you get these bigger knives, especially over 8 inches, every little bit helps. These dudes can be pocket chunks. Which, some guys like that too. I don't. So, anyway, this is the Sencut Traxler. It came plenty sharp. The ergos are good. The blade shape is very nice. It's flawless on the blade. Like, there are no marks. I don't have any quality concerns with the build quality. I know what I'm getting with Sencut, and they almost always deliver. So if you guys like this one, let me know. The blade shape is kind of odd, but maybe it's just that makes it look odd, because I bet you if you just slice that off, it would look like 100 other blades out there, kind of a somewhere between a sheep's foot and a worn cliff and a cleaver, a worn sheep cleaver, or something like that, a worn cleaver foot. Whatever. I don't know. That's why I don't name knives. So anyway, guys, I'm the Mighty MC. This is the Sencut Traxler. I will put links in the description where you can get one. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you all have a great, great week.